So today, in the previous class, we discussed about different types of production, right? Pre-production, production, post-production, and
Yes, yes,
persons involved in production, right?
yes, sir.
Today, today we'll discuss about the television programming pattern and different how it is. Uh, it is. Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Somebody's messaging me. Okay. Uh, how television help in development of socio-economic conditions of India or country. Okay. So we all know that the television is a audio visual media, right? So it is very important. Not only that, it is also to compare to radio or newspaper. So we can see. So this is the basic information we discussed earlier class also. So again, we are repeating. So so it can be the content can be accessed or understood by the literate as well as illiterate. That means the same way, not only homogeneous. Homogeneous means the same type of maybe educated, maybe homogeneous. But it's a television, it's a heterogeneous audience, right? There may be have a different backgrounds, maybe educational background or professional backgrounds or gender backgrounds, maybe gents or ladies, so anybody. So the content will be understood very easy. So the difference between a radio and television is so we can see as well as listen to the visual as well as we can see the visual also. Listen to audio or we can see the visual also. Right? This is what we learned in the PS class also. Right? So whenever my audio is not clear, please inform me because uh, I misplaced my earphones somewhere, so I'm using wireless one. Okay. Uh, See, so there are number of programs initiated the government of India. When it was started in 1959, the first television broadcast started in 1959. So there may be first it was started with the experimental basis. Okay, a site program was initiated with the help of UNESCO and Ford Foundation and the government of India. Right. So it's the satellite instruction television experiment site. Okay, site program was started. So that is, so it is the basic intention is the first step. So what type of content we need to use, we need to broadcast. So that time we don't have any infrastructure, we don't have any, even not even television sets, television boxes we don't have. That means television sets we don't have. So we need to import. Okay, and people may not afford to buy the television sets that time, 1950s. Okay, we are talking about 1950s. Okay, so what happened, the government itself bought some television sets and distributed to the village community level. So that means for so in the pilot project, that means in the beginning, in the pilot project they distributed TV sets to different so first it started around the Delhi. So around the Delhi, they distributed the TV sets for village. A single piece, a single TV set for one village. It is a community-based one. Okay? It will be placed with the Gram Panchayat. So for that, the uh, content also taken from the foreign countries like American. So later, what happens is the content is Indianized. That means, so for example, if it is a socio-economic program, so whenever they want to uplift the women empowerment or agriculture, so they converted into the Indianization of programs. Instead of using the foreign content, the same concept is taken from a different America. So they Indianized the content and telecasted. This is an experimental basis. So that time we don't have 24 hours channels. Okay. Per day, they used to transmit 20 to 30 minutes in the evening. That's it. Daily, they used to transmit 20 to 30 daily. This is the experimental basis. I said it is called a pilot project. There are number of projects initiated. So for specific programs for education, basically their main intention is to empower the students. It may be technological aspects such as classroom teaching. So for that, they used countrywide classroom (CEC). Sorry, CWC, countrywide classroom. So CWC program, one of the major impact was on countrywide classroom, because that time, so the television sets are distributed to select. In the beginning, they select Delhi and surrounding area only. So that project is implemented later into the entire country. Okay, even uh, in remote areas like in Andhra Pradesh, like earlier Andhra Pradesh, Telangana also got some TV sets in the government schools. Okay, black and white TV sets. So they used to transmit the that time, and we don't have any private channels. Only Doordarshan was the key provider, key information provider. That means key news provider, key entertainment. Only Doordarshan was the entertainment provider. Right? First, they started government programs. That means empowerment for women, as well as innovative techniques for farmers, and classroom teaching for students. These are the some of the basic programs initially. Okay. Later, so the entertainment part is added. Okay. Hum Log is the first serial transmitted in India, 1984 to 1985. During that time, the Hum Log was the first serial. Okay. Even that serial also embedded with the message. So that time the family planning and health, okay, the agriculture, human relations, basically family relations, health, and family planning also. So these are the basic concepts embedded into the program, serial. That means a serial. So not nowadays how every serial is infected with the crime and violence, and how to jealousy, include with jealousy, and how to kill somebody, how to plan. These are not the essential message during that time. Okay, so whenever it was the program, so it is meant to uplift the downtrodden, basically. That means basically women, uh, farmers, and socio-economic conditions. So some programs related to abolition of the caste system. Okay, so these are the topics. Okay, like Doordarshan same in the during the Hamlog time. That means 84, 85, around that time. It's actually transmitted around 2 years. Hamlog serial. Okay. Uh, Private advertisements. So enter into the sale. So whenever one private company may sponsor one program, okay, entire program. So that time only this noodles. What noodles? ఏ noodles అవి? Nestle or like anybody remember that? Still it is there in the market. Hello, are you following? Hello, I am audible. Just hello. వినిపిస్తుందా? Okay. Maggie noodles, sorry. I remember. Maggie noodles was the first sponsor. Nestle Maggie noodles. So during that time only Maggie introduced these noodles. Okay. So it is famous. So they sponsor the program, and for individual sponsor, they need to present one single program. But later, the advertisement increased, so they became a slots like 10 seconds, So instead of spending a whole amount on a particular program, so the cost is divided into different sponsors. That became a this 10 second, 30 second, 30 minutes, 30 seconds, 1 minute advertisements. The concept is the same. So earlier, only one sponsor used to sponsor one single program. So because of the production cost increased, so the cost is distributed to different sponsors. That means whenever number of seconds increase, they need to pay the amount according to the seconds. That was the concept. Then the entertainment programs, songs, okay, as a common. These are the in the earlier of DD, Doordarshan. Okay, in 1982, uh, color TV was introduced during the Indira Gandhi Prime Minister. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister. So same time the Asian Games were conducted in India. So that time the color TV uh, transmission. So same time the INSAT satellite was Indian satellite uh, was used to transmission these signals. Okay, so color television signals are started in India, 1982. Okay, so this is the basic information how television, particularly Doordarshan. Television means that time only one, the Doordarshan. So in 1992, 91, so the Supreme Court judgment, the historical judgment, the airwaves are public property. That time, the previous government also allowed the private entities to set up their own channels. So likewise, the private channels entered into the field. Okay, private channels అనేది అప్పుడు వచ్చాయి. So 19, whenever the Supreme Court judgment, airwaves are public property. This is the historical judgment. Earlier, only government used to control the airwaves, only government channel, government own property. So later, anybody can buy the signals. For that, they need to pay the fees to the government. That was the initiative in 1991. Okay, later the 24-hour channels and 24 hours entertainment channels become a routine task nowadays. Okay, this is what about the television programs, socio-economic conditions in India. Okay, next. That's next one left. Yeah, television audience. So we discussed about the number of programs, right? Different programs. So basically, in the beginning class also we discussed it. So the program is planned. Okay, so market research was done. So before any program, so the marketing research. That means what type of content usually the audience prefers. So, for example, in the beginning class also, I give an example. So, for example, if it is the channel is aimed to attract the audience, youth, youth. For that, they need entertainment and starting with the live programs. So these are the requirements. For example, if your target audience will be the farmers, okay. For that, you need to focus more on agriculture programs, right? So, for example, if your target audience, if you attract women, so for that, the women empowerment programs and cookery programs or any other development programs for family level or personal development for women. So these are the programs we can attract with the audience. Okay. So later, what happened? 1991 later. So the private channels enter into the market. So the audience are same. So you need to attract the audience. So the quality of content has increased. Okay, the quality is increased. Even the production value as well as the quality of the content, both are increased. That means, so earlier only, for example, I am giving an example. Instead of focusing on a particular, see, uh, in a production, we used to have single camera, multi-camera setup. Remember this one? Single. For example, you can use single camera or multi-cam production. So to attract the audience, they use different production techniques as well as the so quality is the same. Quality అంటే సీరియల్ ని ఎలా చేద్దాం అంటే ఎలా ఆడియన్స్ ని రీసెర్చ్ చేసి పర్టికులర్ ఆడియన్స్ ని టార్గెట్ చేసి టు అట్రాక్ట్ ద డిఫరెంట్ ఆడియన్స్. ఓకే, బట్ స్పెసిఫిక్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ వర్ మేడ్, టైలర్ మేడ్, ఇంకా కాల్డ్ టైలర్ మేడ్. అంటే పర్టికులర్ ఒక ఆడియన్స్ యూత్ కావాలనుకుంటే యూత్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్, ఓన్లీ లేడీస్ అండ్ ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్, ఉమెన్ ఆడియన్స్ కావాలనుకుంటే the programs were intended to attract the women audience only. Farmers, so the programs intended to attract the farmers. Okay, these are the, so for that, so first, so we all know the television channel, the income comes from the advertisements, right? For any television channel, the income source is the advertisements. So if you want to attract the advertisers, so you need to show how many audience are watching your television channel, right? So then only the advertisers will come and place their advertisement in your channel or your slot, your program. Okay, so appude kada manaku whenever the program is popular with the audience, then only the advertisers will give you advertisements for your channel. Okay, for that there are three types of audience measurement. Okay, audience means, so for example, in a newspaper, how do we calculate the which one is the largest circulated paper? Because of subscription, right? Circulation of the paper, how many papers are printed and how many readers are buying your paper. That is based on IRS, the Indian Readership Survey. Okay, IRS will be do the survey. So how many papers are printed and how many copies are sold. Okay, same way in your television, so how many are watching your content at a particular time? For example, in the evening, 6:30, 7 o'clock, for example, take an example, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, there is a program. Okay, whether that program is popular with the audience or not. For that, you can check and you can measure the audience with the three methods. One is recall method, second one is consumer panel, and third one is the people meters. So what is the recall method? Recall method is, and you go and ask, do you know this program? For example, program is so any program. So they go and ask, 7 o'clock, what program you are watching and which program you are watching, what type of content you are aware of that program. Okay, are you following? ఏం లేదు, 7 o'clock కి ఏం ప్రోగ్రామ్ చూస్తారు మీరు అని అడిగినాం అనుకోండి. ఒకవేళ వాళ్ళు మన ప్రోగ్రామ్ పేరు చెప్తే దే ఆర్ వాచింగ్ అవర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఆర్ అవర్ ఛానల్. ఓకే, దట్ మీన్స్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ వాచింగ్ అవర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎట్ 7 o'clock. ఇఫ్ యూ దే డోంట్ రీకాల్ యువర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అంటే దే చెప్పలేదు అనుకోండి, అంటే మన ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎవరు చూడట్లేదు అని. దిస్ ఇస్ ద వన్ ఆఫ్ ద మెథడ్ టు మెజర్ ద ఆడియన్స్. రికాల్ మెథడ్ అంటే పోయి అడిగితే మీకు, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక పేస్ట్ తీసుకొని చూసినాం అనుకోండి, ఈ పేస్ట్ మీకు తెలుసా అన్నాం అనుకోండి, తెలుసు, ఈ పేస్ట్ కోల్గేట్ సాల్ట్, ఈ పేస్ట్ లో ఉప్పు ఉందా అని అడుగుతారు. సో ఇది కోల్గేట్ పేస్ట్ అని నాకు తెలుసు అని చెప్పారు అనుకోండి, దెన్ దట్ మీన్స్ ద అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్ వాజ్ వాచ్డ్ బై దిస్ ఆడియన్స్. అంతే కదా, అది ఎట్లా తెలుస్తుంది మనకు మీ పేస్ట్ లో ఉప్పు ఉందా అని అడిగి అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్? బికాస్ దట్ అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్ ఆర్ బ్రాడ్కాస్టెడ్ ఇన్ డిఫరెంట్ ఛానల్స్, సో and a particular slot, so that the audience remember that particular advertisement. At the same way, the content is also, whenever they ask for the content, if they recall అంటే గుర్తుపెట్టుకొని, ఓకే ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ మేము చూసినాం అంటే, ఓకే దట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఇస్ పాపులర్ అమంగ్ ద ఆడియన్స్. అది వన్ ఆఫ్ ద మెథడ్. Okay, second type of method is consumer panel. In the consumer panel, so you are requesting your audience. Okay, you are requesting your audience, television audience. So write at 7 o'clock what program you are watching, what type of content you are watching on the television at 7 o'clock. So your audience need to write on a diary. ఓకే, రోజు డైరీలో ఎంటర్ చేయాలి. 7 o'clock నేను ఈ సీరియల్ చూస్తున్నా, 8 o'clock ఇది చూస్తున్నా, 9 o'clock ఇది చూస్తున్నా ఆడియన్స్ డైరీ మెయింటైన్ చేయాలి. అదే డైరీ ఎవరు ఇస్తారంటే ఈ సర్వే చేసే వాళ్ళు ఇస్తారు, ఆడియన్స్ మెజర్మెంట్ చేసే వాళ్ళు ఇస్తారు. సో ఫర్ దట్ యూ నీడ్ టు ఎంటర్ 7 o'clock విచ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ యూఆర్ వాచింగ్, 8 o'clock విచ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్, 9 o'clock విచ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. సో యూ నీడ్ టు ఎంటర్. అది వన్ ఆఫ్ ద మెథడ్. అండ్ థర్డ్ వన్ ఇస్ పీపుల్ మీటర్. ద పీపుల్ మీటర్, so one meter display unit, okay, one device is fixed onto your television set. Okay, oka instrument, oka equipment is fixed onto your television. That device sends the signals to the central data storage unit. Okay, for example, you are watching 7 o'clock TV9. Okay, and it records the frequency of the TV9 and saves in the meter display unit, and same data is sent to the central data storage unit. 7 to 7:30 TV9 serve, 8 to 8:30 NTV serve. So everything is recorded and stored in the central data storage unit. So based on that, so which channel is popular among the audience, we can find out. అర్థమైందా? అంటే మనం ఏ ఛానల్ చేంజ్ చేసినా వితౌట్ అవర్ నాలెడ్జ్, ద మీటర్ డిస్ప్లే యూనిట్ అంటే ఒక వన్ డివైస్ ఇస్ ఫిక్స్డ్ ఆన్ టు యువర్ టెలివిజన్ విత్ యువర్ పర్మిషన్ ఉంది. ఓకే, ది సర్వే ఏజెన్సీ విల్ కమ్ టు యువర్ హౌస్, సో దే విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్. సో వీఆర్ టేకింగ్ యువర్ సర్వే, సో ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ అలోయింగ్ అస్, సో వాట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ డేటా యు ఆర్, what type of content you are watching. So you want to serve, and okay, if you allow, they will fix one audio meter. Then audio meter until sometimes you can call it a people meter. So it is the audio meter. With that, your what type of programs you are watching, it records. అంటే ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ రికార్డ్ చేస్తుంది. హౌ యువర్ దానికి ఏ ఛానల్ అని ఏం తెలియదు, బట్ ఛానల్ నెంబర్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సో ఛానల్ నెంబర్ ఏం తెలియకపోవచ్చు. ఛానల్ నెంబర్ సమ్ టైమ్స్ 125 ఉంది అనుకోండి, సమ్ టైమ్స్ యూ కెన్ చేంజ్ TV9 129. సో నెక్స్ట్ టైమ్ దే కెన్ మూవ్ ఇట్ టు ద 315. Okay, they won't remember the channel number, but they remember the frequency. The frequency will be same always. Okay, TV9 పర్టికులర్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీలో వస్తుందంటే ఆ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఉంటుంది ఆల్వేస్. సో ఆ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీని రికార్డ్ చేసుకుంటుంది. బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ, the data will be sent to the central data storage that they will calculate. So what type of programs you are watching. This is one of the another method. Okay, first have recall method. So just asking, so మీరు 7 o'clock ఏం ప్రోగ్రామ్ చూసారు అంటే, just if you remember the content and program name, so then it means that you are watching that program. And second one is the consumer panel or diary method. That means you need to, as a audience or a consumer, you need to enter what type of program you are watching at different times. And third one is they will fix the meter, audio meter or people meter, and based on the frequency, how you are changing the frequency and different channels, how much time you are spending on a particular frequency also. So for example, TV9 frequency, how much time you are spending on that particular frequency. So how many times you are changing. So also everything is calculated and counted. Okay, based on that, your preferences, channel viewing rate is calculated. This is the another method. Okay, there are different programs. So in the beginning also we discussed, so a specific audience programs. This is a pattern. So in the every news channel also, so morning one type of programs will be there, afternoon there will be different type of programs. 7 o'clock and evening, there will be a different type of programs. Evening, there will be a different type of programs. Why? Because they want to attract the audience, a different audience. Who will watch in the afternoon? So usually homemakers who will be in the home, that people will watch. So for that, to attract that homemakers, the program is which suits to the homemaker, that program will be telecast. అంటే వాళ్ళకి ఏదైతే ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంటుంది అనుకుంటారో అటువంటి ప్రోగ్రామ్ ని బ్రాడ్కాస్ట్ చేస్తారు. సో చిల్డ్రన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ యూజువల్లీ చిల్డ్రన్ ఎప్పుడు చూస్తారు? ఈవినింగ్ ఆఫ్టర్ కంప్లీషన్ ఆఫ్ ద స్కూల్. సో దే కమ్ అండ్ వాచ్. సో డ్యూరింగ్ దట్ టైమ్ ద చిల్డ్రన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అంటే చిల్డ్రన్ మేబీ different ప్రోగ్రామ్స్, కార్టూన్ షోస్. యూజువల్లీ ఆల్ చిల్డ్రన్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇన్ కార్టూన్ షోస్, రైట్? పపెట్ షోస్, స్టోరీస్, ప్లే, quiz. These programs are the examples. Okay, these programs are specially target to the children. Youth, same like children, youth programs also. Usually youth for career guidance, talk shows, quizzes. Okay, these are the examples of youth programs, right? And women specific programs. Usually afternoons, 12 to 3:30, there will be a programs for exclusive for women audience. So during that time, the channels feels that the women homemakers usually at home, so they can have leisure time. So for that, to attract the women audience, their programs were tailored to meet the requirements of the women. Okay. So farmers program, another type of programs. So usually the farmers program, usually watch it in the morning 7 o'clock, 7:30, and evening also 6:30, 7 o'clock. You will find in a it usually every channel like HMTV, TV. So we won't find any women, sorry, farmers programs on TV9 usually. TV9 is the target audience are uh, urban people, not usually, mostly రిమోట్ కాకుండా కొంచెం అర్బన్ పీపుల్ టార్గెట్ ఆడియన్స్. టార్గెట్ ఆడియన్స్ అర్బన్ ఆర్ సెమీ అర్బన్ పీపుల్. ఓకే, సో దే డోంట్ కేర్ అబౌట్ ఫార్మర్స్ ఇష్యూస్ యూజువల్. దే డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ ఫార్మర్స్ ప్రోగ్రామ్, స్పెసిఫిక్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్. సో టీవీ, ఈటీవీ, హెచ్ఎంటీవీ, ఎన్టీవీ ఆల్సో హ్యాస్ సమ్ farmer program, I think. Okay, these are the another national programs. In the national program, so for more to cover the area, that means the national interest programs. So from every corner, the people interested to listen to the national politics, maybe politics events. Okay, not only local programs. So usually the programs are categorized in three types. One is a national program, regional program, and local programs. Okay, so we all know that the programs are specifically targeted to the different audience. So current news and current affairs. So all the news. So in the DD. So usually this syllabus is usually related to Doordarshan, government public, government sponsored news channel. Doordarshan. So in the news channel, we'll find a news and current affairs. So news-based as well as news-based program like debates and discussions, panel discussions. Okay, just they want to give a inputs for the educated section of the viewers. So again, they have educational programs in the morning session. Usually in the morning, Jan Darshan was the one of the educational program, and countrywide classroom UGC sponsored program was another example. So these programs were intended to attract the educated people or school or college level students. Okay, these are the different types of programs. So their main aim is to attract the different people. Okay, so they may be women audience or school going children, or farmers or youth. So their main aim is to attract the audience and to retain the audience. They need to improve the content quality wise and as well as the production wise. Okay, so the competition has increased after 1991. So when these private channels are entered into the market, right? So for that, you need to the audience segment fragmentation. Audience, like is called a audience fragmentation. That means, so for example, earlier 100 viewers were there when DD was the whole and soul, the broadcaster. Later, the private channels are entered. So that 100 audience were divided into different channels. So 10 audience were for another channel, 10 were ETV, 10 were 90 TV9, 10 for NTV, and remaining 80 or 60 for Doordarshan. Later, that the number had changed. So now the DD was the so it's the least audience fragmentation, right? Compared to any private channel. So DD ఎవరు చూస్తారు చాలా రేర్ తక్కువ audience. There will be a whenever there was an important national programs. For example, government, for example, Independence Day Live or Republic Day Live or Padma Awards distribution ceremony. So only sole transmitter was DD. So that time you can watch the DD channel and Doordarshan channel. Otherwise, the same content is retransmitted by the private channels, right? So you may aware of that one, I think. Hmm. So this is what have a brief of seventh unit, and remaining we have a two or units, 3 units, I think. Remaining 3 units. So we will discuss in the next class. Okay. Okay. The next teacher has joined. Okay. Thank you very much. So any doubts in this program pattern and as well as in the program audience measurement? Okay. If any doubts, I can clarify. Otherwise, I will leave. Okay. Thank you.